There is nothing worse than going through all the motions of planning a wedding and then to look back and feel that the wedding you created was not the wedding you actually wanted. Hello everyone, my name is Tirza, she, her, hers pronouns. I am the owner and creator of NearlyWed Coaching, and today I'm going to talk to you about the 5 tips to avoid wedding planning stress. These 5 tips will help you slow down and make intentional decisions, get clear on what matters to you most, prevent looking back and having regrets, and to create the wedding that you truly want versus the wedding you think you should have. So let's get started on our first topic, which will be budget. Talking about your budget can be one of the most difficult conversations to have, but also one of the most important. A great place to start is having a conversation with each other about what is your relationship to money. This is important because we all have different feelings related to money that have deeper roots. This could be related to our childhood, our upbringing, our culture, etc. It's good to understand how you feel about money before jumping into creating your budget and where you might differ. One person might have a healthier relationship with money and is more keen to spending money, where the other person in the relationship might have more of a negative relationship to money and is a little bit more careful of how they spend. Another important conversation to have is how much money you are each willing to spend, where you are aligned, and if not, where you need to compromise. So when it comes to this topic, here's some homework for you. I want you to write down a list of your budget from what you are prioritizing most and most willing to spend money on down to what you are least willing to spend money on, and have a conversation about why. I recommend downloading a wedding budget and making it your own, or creating one from scratch. Another option is you could ask your wedding planner if they have a resource for you. This can help you get a clear idea of where the money is going and where you need to compromise. My last recommendation is to have a conversation about who is paying for the wedding. Is it just the 2 of you, or are you receiving help from other people? Getting clear on who is contributing and if there are any strings attached to that is important to figure out up front before things could get messy later on. Consider allocating specific items for those helping to pay. Number 1, this is a good idea because this helps them know exactly where their money is going. And number 2, this can eliminate that person taking over the decision making for the entire wedding. This keeps them within a frame and manages their expectations, and also gets them excited about those items they are paying for. All right, so that covers budget. So now we're going to jump into values and vision. So what are values? Values is what matters to you as a couple, what you believe in, what drives you, and how you spend your time. This will inform what kind of wedding you want to have based on what is important to you at the core of your relationship. It's ultimately a decision-making tool. So your homework on this topic is to take out a piece of paper, draw a big circle, and then brainstorm as a couple what are the values that you share, and write them all in the center of the circle. Then draw another circle and take the values that translate to your wedding and put those in the middle of that circle. For example, if one of your values is fun, then maybe that translates to a big fun dance party. Another example could be community, and maybe that translates to inviting the closest people in your life to the wedding. So now we're going to talk about vision. So what is vision? It's thinking about how you want to feel on your wedding day and ceremony. How do you want your guests to feel? And what do you want your guests to say as they walk away from your wedding? This is important because it helps you start to conceptualize your wedding and what you really want. It also encourages both of you to be a part of the process, and it helps you connect to the feeling of the day and not just the logistics. So your homework assignment is to each write down 5 words that you would like to use to describe your wedding and then compare notes. This can help you figure out where you're aligned, where you may need to be flexible, and opportunities to find common ground. Before we move on to talk about expectations, I would love to tell you a little bit about NearlyWed Coaching. NearlyWed Coaching is a 3-service business supporting couples through premarital coaching, wedding coaching, and officiating services. Let's keep it real. Wedding planning can be stressful. Wedding coaching is a support to help you navigate all of those challenges that could be stress, anxiety, overwhelm, decision-making, problem-solving, conflict resolution, etc. Wedding coaching helps you navigate these challenges to create the wedding you truly want. More about NearlyWed Coaching can be found in the description, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Wed Mayhem. Now let's jump into expectations. Expectations are what you expect from yourself and your partner on your big day. A good place to start is by asking, what do you expect from one another during this process? What do you each need to feel supported? What expectations might you have of one another? And how will you plan to work through any disagreements and find compromise? Talking about expectations out loud can help prevent miscommunication, frustrations, and conflict later down the line. Now let's keep going with tasks and decision making. A big aspect to wedding planning is 101 million decisions that you have to make as a couple. Here are some questions to help you navigate this process. How do you make decisions as individuals and as a couple? How are you similar? How are you different? Do you want to make every decision together? Or are there certain areas that you want to spearhead individually? And if so, what are they? A tip is to think about how do you make decisions as a couple in day-to-day life, and then apply this to the wedding planning decisions. Getting clear and communicating a plan based on what is important to each of you is very helpful. So your homework for this is to write a to-do list and then break down who is responsible for what. Breaking this list down of responsibilities could be really helpful to think about what excites you, what are you motivated by, what do you really want to get into, and then go from there. Remember, at the end of the day, communication is key. Now let's talk about vendor selection. Choosing your vendors is a big decision and can cause stress. Think about what qualities are important to you in your vendors. This could be their personalities, energy, pricing, identities, etc. Then ask yourself, where do you and your partner agree and where do you differ? And how will you know when you have found the right vendor? These are the people that will create the energy, structure, and flow of your day. So choosing the wrong vendors could have the potential of a pretty big negative impact. Being selective of who are in these vital roles is really important. So take your time. Interview multiple vendors and make intentional decisions based off of what is important to you and your partner. So your homework for this is to write down a list of the vendors you are planning to hire, and then write down the qualities that are most important to you next to each vendor. This will help you make informed decisions when hiring your vendors. And there you have it, 5 tips to avoid wedding planning stress. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you found this video very helpful. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe to Wed Mayhem. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.